Together we rise, together we rise.
Now, here's why I almost gave up and why I'm so glad that I didn't. I can still remember a time I had to speak in front of a group of people. Oh, my heart, it was pounding so hard that I could even hear it in my ears. My palms, they were sweaty, my mouth was dry, and I felt for a split second wondering if I could just disappear. Hmm. I had prepared. I knew what I wanted to say, but the moment I stood there, all I could think about was, what if I mess up? What if they don't connect with what I'm saying? Or what if I fail? Fear, it was screaming at me to sit down, to stay quiet. But there was something deep inside, God's quiet nudge, reminding me that this moment, it wasn't just about me, but maybe, just maybe, I was meant to be right there, speaking to those people for a reason. So, what did I do? I took a deep breath and then I spoke. And as the words started flowing, I realized something. Courage, it's not the absence of fear, but it is choosing to move forward anyway. And that's exactly what Esther found out. She stood outside the throne room, knowing that stepping forward, that it could cost her life. But staying silent, that could also cost her purpose. So what did she do? She did it afraid. She stepped forward anyway. Now, have you ever been in that place where fear, it was telling you to sit down, sit this one out, but something deep inside was telling you that maybe this moment is bigger than you? So today, we're going to talk about in this final part of Esther's story, we're going to talk about where boldness meets obedience and where trusting God in the unseen changes everything. So let's talk about it. Now, let's be honest. Esther, she didn't even wake up fearless. She didn't start off as a bold leader. She started as a young girl, plucked from her home, forced into a situation that she never even asked for. She had no power, no control, and even for a while, she played it safe. But then came that moment that forced her to decide who she really was. It was her cousin Mordecai. He sent her a message that stopped her in her tracks. If you remain silent, deliverance will come from somewhere else. But maybe you were placed here for such a time as this. Now, it was in that moment that Esther had a choice. She had a choice to stay hidden or to step into her calling. Now, let's pause for a moment. What would you have done? Because the truth is, we all face these moments. The ones where we know we need to speak up, maybe take action, or even step out of our comfort zone. But fear, it tries to keep us silent. So the question is, will you let it? Now, here's what's really interesting about Esther's story. God, his name, it's never mentioned, not one time, but his presence, it's everywhere. Now, think about it. Esther being chosen, that wasn't luck. Mordecai overhearing a secret plot, that wasn't even a coincidence. The king's sleepless nights that led to Mordecai's honor, that wasn't random. God, he was working behind the scenes, aligning everything all the while. He was aligning every single detail. And maybe that's exactly where you are right now. You're wondering, God, where are you? Why aren't things changing? But hear me now. Just because he's quiet, it does not mean that he's absent. He is aligning things in ways that you can't even see it yet. And Esther, she did not know how it would turn out, but she knew she had to move forward. And maybe that's the step that you need to take today. Even though you don't know how everything is going to work out, but maybe it's time to take that step to move forward. Now, here's the part I love the most. Esther, she walks into the throne room, heart racing. The king looks up, and instead of rejecting her, he extends his scepter. She's granted favor. One act of courage didn't just save her life, it saved an entire nation. And here's where it gets real for you and me. What if your boldness is connected to someone else's breakthrough? What if the very thing you've been avoiding, the step, the conversation, the dream, is the one thing God wants to use? We don't always get to see the full picture, but we do get to choose whether we'll step forward or stay silent. So here's my challenge for you today. What is your for such a time as this moment? What is that one thing you know you're supposed to do? What is that one thing you know you're supposed to step into? But fear, it has been holding you back. Where is God calling you to trust Him, even if you don't see the full picture yet? Well, Esther, she didn't wait until she had all the answers. She just took one step. She took the next step. And that's all we need to do today. I would love for you to drop a comment below and let me know what is one area where you're ready to step into your boldness. I'd love to stand with you in faith. And if you haven't watched the first two parts of the series, go back and check them out because they lay the foundation for everything we talked about today. So remember, you don't have to be fearless, you just have to be willing. And as you continue to live your life bold, fulfilled, and free, until next time, take care. If you're that woman who has been hesitating, who has been experiencing a great deal of self doubt, and even having those what if thoughts, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm going to fail? What if the resources that I need won't be available to me? Well, I want you to know that your bold journey, it's waiting. And just as Esther's story, it reminds us that courage and faith and bold action, it can transform our lives, and not just our lives, but even those around us. So I'm here to remind you, you don't have to do this alone. Because if you are ready to step into your own bold, fulfilled, and free life, and also discover how God can guide you even through your unique season, I want to invite you. I want to extend an invitation for you to join me. Let's connect. If you click the link below, you can book a complimentary session where we can uncover your next courageous steps together because your destiny living moment, it's now. So let's walk this journey together.